Ladies and gentlemen, RMAC Hall of Famer Mark Worthington. Well, if Richard comes from Chicago and can talk for that long, come from Australia, I guess I get to talk for about an hour, I reckon. I asked Eric if maybe we needed someone up here to translate every now and then, so stick with me. Coach Clark was right. I walked in as an 18-year-old, and when you come from Australia, you don't really play high school basketball. You sort of come from a club association, and it's usually parents or friends that coach your team, so you know I'm on first name basis. And I remember walking in the office on the first day to Coach Dunlap, and he's like, "Mark, nice to meet you." And I said, "Good to meet you too, Mike." Well, that was the last time I called him Mike. It's learned pretty quickly after that it was Coach Dunlap. And he made a point that if I said it ever again, I'd probably be on the field running with a medicine ball for the rest of my life. Coach Dunlap, as many of you know, was extremely hard, but extremely fair at the same time. He wanted the absolute best for us. And even though we didn't get the picture to start off with, you got it by the end. And anyone who did 4 years under Coach Dunlap probably deserves an award. But that's the sort of person and the expectations he had on us as humans. He didn't want us just to be great basketball players or in a great team. He wanted us to be great human beings. And I think over the course of 4 years, a lot of people moulded from boys to men, and a lot of them great men. My experience here was fantastic. Walking in and winning a championship as a freshman, you know, was unbelievable, but probably a curse at the same time. You didn't understand how hard it was to get back to that point, especially come from Australia. I mean, you look at it and you go, "Oh yeah, that was pretty good," you know. And then the next year you make it to the Sweet 16 and you realise, man, what we did was extremely hard. 2002, when we won the championship, we got extremely lucky that year. We didn't even win the RMAC that year, but then we caught on fire at the right time. 2004 was the best team I've ever played on professionally, anywhere. It was the most dominant team I've ever played on, and you know what? As the runners found out this year, you need to be extremely good and get lucky to make a championship game. You need to be even luckier to win a championship. We were extremely lucky in 2002. We were extremely unlucky in 2004. But that team will forever be the best team I ever played on. Come my senior year, you know, it's sort of been the way that Metro State's always been. Someone falls out and people, fans, go up to the coaches and say, "Well, how are you going to replace Patrick Mutombo?" Well, here comes Luke Kendall, and he does a great job his senior year. "How are you going to replace Luke Kendall?" Then it was just my turn. And they've made a championship now, and now they're saying, "Well, what's going to happen with Jonathan Morse?" There's going to be someone else that steps up. The coaches do a fantastic job of getting you ready for your moment. And if your moment's your sophomore year, your junior year, and if you're lucky enough, your senior year, it's an amazing feeling to get the end result. Win a championship or not, you walk away from those 4 years as the best 4 years that you've ever spent, and you've known you've earned it. I'd like to thank all the assistants that I had over the course of my career here. DC, obviously, what you're doing now to get the runners back to where they are is fantastic. The things that Dunlap instilled in us way back when have now come back. And from me and the rest of the players, we thank you, because we know how hard the boys are working. We know how hard it was this year, and we know how hard you're going to continue to work with them to make them great men. Last off, thank you very much for having me. It was a long flight to get here, but it was worth every moment, reliving all the memories and moments. And Coach Clark and I have been talking over the last 3 days, and it just comes flooding back to you how great the time was. And you know, I can only wish that people in the future, when they come up to accept their awards here, appreciate it just as much as what I am right now. So thank you.
All right, Mark, congratulations. First off, we know you went in with the All-Century team. Just talk about some of your thoughts being inducted in kind of a different category in the RMAC Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's a little surreal, I guess. I still feel like I'm pretty young, so to be here so early is I'm very humbled, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the night. It's a long way to come for a night, but I'm looking forward to it.
How far have you come?
Well, I flew from Melbourne, so it took about 22 hours to get here, but I like coming back here and catching up with old friends that I haven't been able to see in the past 5 years, so it's been great.
Talk about your time donning the red and blue. You did a lot of great things there. Coach Dunlap, obviously, national championship. So many great awards, obviously. What did that time mean for you?
Oh, it really forced me to grow up. And, I'm a very, very country boy and from a fairly small town. So coming from there over to here was sort of a wake-up call to where I need to get to as a professional athlete going forward. And, you know, like everyone, I sort of had my struggles early, and as Metro seemed to do, as the seniors fall off, someone seems to step up, and I guess when it came to my senior year, it was my time.
Talk about being under Dunlap, coaching. What did you learn from him? What are some of the things that you learned and you know, take with you onto your current playing career?
I mean, it's the same as what everyone else has ever heard about Dunlap. He made us work hard, and that still stays true to today. Work very hard to obviously still be playing professional now. You don't get it just by cruising through, and he taught me a lot of things, but definitely the work ethic was the main one for me.
So you've worked hard, like you mentioned. You're still playing. Not a lot of people get to do that. You've been playing, I think, what, 10 years now? I mean, it's just talk about those 10 years playing professionally, playing that game that you love.
Well, it's been great. Been with the national team for 9 years now and playing professionally for 9 years now. It's been fantastic, and I've got to play all around the world, and I'm very grateful for it. And yeah, it's a massive thrill, and obviously when I represent Australia, there's no bigger honour for myself.
What was it like playing in the London Games in Beijing and all that fun stuff? I mean, obviously we see the pictures with LeBron James and how exciting that was. What was that time like for you?
Beijing, I guess, I'm sure it's like this for many athletes. The first time Olympians, you sort of get caught up in the whirlwind of being at the Olympics, since for a majority of us that go there, that's all you dream about as a kid and watch on TV. So you sort of get stuck in that sort of, wow, there's someone that I watch on TV and there's someone else. When London rolled around, I think I was much more prepared for it, and I understood what was going to happen a lot better. And it's a fantastic thrill, and the opening ceremony is obviously fantastic. But you know, getting to play against the best of the world is you know, something I'll cherish forever. And you know, one day I'll get to tell the kids who I played against, which will be pretty cool.
So last question. I don't know how much you keep up with Metro State and what they've done, obviously with Coach Clark, and then 1 point short of the national championship. Talk about the tradition at Metro State with the great coaches. Obviously, Joe McDermott has a huge say in what goes on there. She's done a great job. What makes it about Metro State basketball that just always in the top national spotlight?
Well, I think since DC came back, he's done a great job of bringing the guys back together. And you know, you need a lot of luck to get to a national championship game, and you need a lot more luck to win it. So to get to the national championship game itself was a huge accomplishment for these guys, and something that I foresee them doing a lot more in the future as well. They're on the right track. There's a tradition, there's definitely those cornerstones that Dunlap has put in that DC has brought back, and the kids have to buy in. They work hard, they train hard, they play hard, and the results come. And you know, there's a lot more good things to come for those boys going forward.
Well, congratulations.